You know, a video like this will get feminists and people who are not happy when it comes to men. It will get them mad, basically, because I got a clip of a man asking women in Ghana if they will live on a planet with only women. The answers are interesting when you compare it to generally the answers you will get if it was in the Western world, whenever you see videos like this being done in the Western world. So I want to play the video, I want to play the clip and just compare and see the fact that there is a reason as to why passport bros is a thing. Now, I'm talking about passport bros from a perspective of people wanting to find potential wives. I'm not talking about the people that's just out here trying to get quick smashes. I'm not talking about them, because there is a different perception when you start looking outside of the Western world. So let's get into this clip.
Would you be on a planet with only ladies?
No,
Why?
I like men.
You like men?
Yeah.
Would you be on a planet with only ladies?
No.
No.
No, no, no.
No, no, no.
No. No. No.
No.
No. No, 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 no. I can't.
You can't.
No. No. Nah.
Would you be on a planet full of ladies?
No, I won't do that.
You don't do that?
No. No.
No.
Yeah,
A lot of people are saying no. Why? Why?
because we need the boys.
Go Barbie.
Yeah, Kwanji is real.
They think that you know.
No.
No.
Nah,
Why you say that?
I don't even know how I should answer it.
Tedia, you need a Tedia.
Kwanji will catch me.
Like, what's the essence for being on a planet with just ladies when I can choose to be on a planet with full of men?
Okay. So wait, so you'll be on a planet with only men?
I'll be okay. I mean, it's better.
You're the only lady?
I'm into guys. So I'll be
guys.
okay if I'm on a planet full of men. If I was to be a lesbian, then fine. But since I'm not,
So you saw the clip, and that clip shows the difference between generally the mentality of women, not all women, but most in the Western world, and the differences that you will find outside of the typical Western cities and countries. A lot of the time, there's this notion or this way that some women will say, oh, you can't find women in your own city. You can't find women in your own country. So you've got to go abroad to find some women who are, living a cheaper lifestyle. Yes, men will say they can't find women in their own city. Yes. Yes, they will say they can't find women in their own country if they're living in the Western world, US, UK, you name it. Yes, they will. And it's not a shame, because at the end of the day, there's a world. There are countries. There's no restriction on traveling. You are allowed to. There's a plane. So a lot of the time, this shaming tactic, it doesn't work because of the fact that they are seeing the better options. The mentality is where the better option takes place. The difference in how they perceive men. That's not to say every man is up to it. Let me make that clear. And that's not to say every woman is up to it. But it's to make it clear that there is a different perception in the Western world. Hence why people are moving. In Ghana, abroad, showed that, look, even if they have experiences, they're still looking at men in general from a different perspective, a more positive perspective. They wouldn't want to live on a planet with just women. It seems a lot of women who claim they are straight or whatever, they would rather live on a planet with women when you see the Western world version of these kinds of videos. So the confusion, the perception, the mentality is the issue as to why men are moving or deciding to travel and see what's out there. It doesn't mean you still don't go and vet, because obviously the Western influences a lot of places, irrespective of the notion that everything is brilliant abroad. It doesn't mean that. It just means that you have to still do vetting, but there is a different mentality, and that's the reason. Feminists wouldn't like it. Like I said, these kinds of videos where you're championing the idea of being in cohesion with men, it will irk you. But what's real is what's real. I'm gonna play a clip of a video from the Western perspective in US, and you're going to see the typical perception that you see online. And I say this also, these videos and these kinds of perceptions don't help. It doesn't help the narrative that some women say that there is no issue, with us. There's no issue with the Western women. There's no issue with the mentality. You shouldn't have to go and travel abroad. I believe that is not 100% true. When you see things, when you interact and you hear the mentalities that happen around the Western world, you will see there's an issue. So it does nullify the notion that there isn't an issue with the Western mentality.
Would you live on a planet with all women?
1,000%.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I would. I would.
Yes, I would. Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I would.
Absolutely. We run the world.
No, I'd feel very unsafe.
That is the reason, again, let me reiterate, why men are traveling. Even that last part when the lady said she feels unsafe. That, to me, I don't know if she heard the question right, but she's like, look, I can't just have them as the only gender living with me. Logic, common sense, their natural nature, that last person working for her to say, you know what? No, I don't want to just live on a planet with women. The natural way we've been created, you wouldn't want to keep that going. And that's where the world has gone wrong. A lot of things that are considered normal are now being turned away to not be normal. And this online sort of perspective can really show issues between men and women, and that's the problem. The lack of thought process behind what you're actually thinking and saying. There has to be an understanding that this is secluded to a certain type of mentality, a certain type of mentality. It's a very much a feminist mentality, even mixed in with some misandry in there as to why these kinds of mentalities exist. But also, I was even on Twitter, X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, and I saw a tweet. It really exemplifies the mentality of a negative notion on the way we look at things. This person says, it's so fun hanging out with straight men who kind of read as gay, view women as people, generally nice and clean. So this woman has said it's fun hanging out with men who view or present more or less as gay, right? Because they view women as people and generally nice and clean. Generally nice and clean. So that is the mentality that men are trying to run away from. The smart men, the men who are trying to do what's required the right way because of mentalities like this. So you're telling me the only way you will have a woman and man work out in having a good connection and be respectful of women is because they have to have a form of gayness in them. They have to present or read as such. Your experiences has made you think like this. Does that mean you should be thinking like that in totality of how you view men? No. The lack of respect in general is the issue. The lack of looking at things from a expansive point of view is the issue. To group men in this way is a joke because you're showing your lack of emotional maturity. This all adds to the I would want to live on a planet with only women mentality. Not all men want to be viewed as gay who do right by women. No man should be viewed as that if they are not that way inclined. It's a stupid statement. And these are the mentalities that smart men are running from. These views won't be just easily found. Like that tweet I just showed, it won't be just easily found in places abroad. Because they know that generally a man does this and a good man does that. He doesn't have to present as anything apart from a man who is a fully fledged heterosexual good man. But because you women don't know how to assess these things, you make assessments like this. This is what makes you feel negative on a daily basis. This is what you walk around with. You may have this maybe air of, oh, I'm good. It's all about, positivity. But you're still walking around with mentalities like this. Doesn't mean people aren't still finding relationships in the Western world. Doesn't mean that people aren't still in productive, flourishing relationships. It just means there is a negative viewpoint in the Western society. The fight to try and be the same as men in many instances from women has made things lopsided. Picking and choosing when you want equality has made things lopsided. To say you want a planet full of women only, hey, Do your thing. Have your opinion. But the point is, you cannot complain or make negative viewpoints or take shots at some men who are deciding to say, you know what? Yes, I cannot find anything in my city or my country. And I don't have to if I don't want to stay in where I was born to find a woman. Your best bet is to say, yeah, I can't find nothing and I'm gone. It's not a shame that can't be found. Yeah, I cannot find a good job in this environment. I'm going to go to another place to find another job and move to another country. That's what people do, right? For jobs. Why can't you do that? If you want to build a legacy with a family. So you got to question the mentality and the notions and the shots that are aimed at men who are trying to do the right thing when they travel. Until we look at the truths on each side and assess why there are issues and we work to change mentalities, these things will continually happen. The mentality will continually affect society and how one interacts with each other. But it's your opinion also. What do you guys think? What's your opinion on these mentalities that we see in the Western world? You don't even have to see it online. You know it exists in person as well. You know there's issues with certain mentalities. Doesn't mean you can't find. It just means it's more challenging with some of these feminist mentalities. These mentalities that don't use logic, don't use sense, don't use your true nature of who you are to make an assessment. Biological order that God made, man, woman, should be together in a more social, productive environment. Doesn't mean you can't be a singleton and live, a decent life. It doesn't mean that. But we're saying the order needs to be looked back into. And all these mentalities that go against order need to get back together. Until we get back to order, there will be issues. Period. Change the mind. Accept only what's supposed to be accepted. Change what you like so you can get the better sort of relationship that's required. But like I say, what's your opinion? Let me know about this whole mentality and the differences between what is generally in the Western world and what is obviously abroad, because them planes are flying. Them planes are flying. People are outside with it, trying to see what else is out there.